Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Marion.
And I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we've got Rob in the booth. Say hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so you can see them and send his favorites over to us. We are wrapping up our very first show exploring new cards from Kaldheim.
It's Kaldheim, actually.
Kaldheim. From Kaldheim. Not a ton of them out, but enough for us to start, poking around with some decks. We're going to be wrapping up here with, I think, our favorite ones, to be honest.
Yeah, I like that Jeskai one, to be honest. So that's a close one for me, but it's another Yorion deck, so I'm happy. Yeah.
And the deck I'll be playing is going to be one that I featured in an article of mine from last week, so that is already on the website and actually now no longer behind the paywall even, because they're only up for a week. And this is the article was all about Halvar, God of Battle, a card that I really like, one of the initial cards previewed from the set. And so there's several decks in the article about it. This one is Boros, a deck I tried to build last preview season, actually won a match on Versus Live with it.
I remember, yep.
It ended up being a little bit too clunky overall to be competitive then.
The amount of equipments was awkward. When you drew too many of them, and I killed your first two creatures, it was bad. So this excites me.
Exactly. So Halvar being that split card, either a threat or the equipment, depending upon whichever you need, really important here. We're developing a lot of cool synergies with the various equipment from, Aki or whatever the name of it is, Akiri, Fireblade Charger, giving this thing haste and, pumping it up, giving it vigilance. When it dies, it comes back. You just keep getting bolts.
Yeah.
And the thing I actually like about this deck is normally when you think of an aggro deck that also has to play equipment, you're wondering, where is my removal coming from? And because you have Giant Killer, Skyclave Apparition, Bone Crusher Giant, Fireblade Charger, Shadow Skull Smashing, this deck actually has like 20 removal spells.
Yeah, but they're all creatures.
Yeah, they're all creatures or lands or some other thing. So there's still tons of interaction in the deck. There's good late game from all the equipment. There's Embercleave to end the game quickly.
Yep.
So you're hitting every base somehow. You manage to fit it all in because of all of these double face cards. And then that allows you it gives you consistency in your draw as well. So you're not going to have the draws where you have too many equipment, not enough threats, too many threats, not enough equipment, or you don't have any interaction, anything like that if you fall behind. So you should be able to manage the game pretty well, even though we don't have any card selection, things like Opt or Omen of the Sea, anything like that. So excited to see how this deck does with the addition of Halvar, which I think is a very powerful card.
Agreed. I think Halvar is the perfect card that we need for just to make equipments good. Embercleave is just already good on its own, but that's barely an equipment. That's just a game-winning spell.
Yeah.
But
more Temur Battle Rage than it is an equipment.
Exactly. But I'm usually very skeptical of any equipments being in a deck. Since the time of Jite being good, there weren't that many equipments that are that strong. Once again, Embercleave, one of the best cards, but it kills you on the turn. It's not something that's gaining you value over time, but the fact that you can just have a very good creature on rate or have the sword excites me. So from my end, I'm actually trying an idea that I'm basing off what I wanted to try with the Jeskai deck with, what's that enchantment called again?
Showdown of the Scalds.
Yeah, with Showdown basically being a green-white-red deck where I'd be ramping up to Showdown. This is a green-white-black deck that is just, kind of doing the same thing except ramping to Kaya. Kaya's the new card, but otherwise we're just a Doom Foretold list. But with that green-white core and just going for black for Kaya and Doom versus going for red for the Showdown card. So I'm going to see if this, if this green-white X shell is good. And then we just get to try out some nice stuff here. Kaya is pretty sweet with Yorion, being able to just exile something and then... The +1 ability is actually kind of a nombo with Yorion because you can plus on a Wicked Wolf or whatever, and then Yorion blink it out. You can technically, return it to your hand and just make a 1/1 here.
Yep.
Which doesn't seem great because you're tempoing yourself out, but just putting a Ghost Form counter on something, and then if it's about to get Wrath, that seems a lot better to me. Just a way to protect it. But for the most part, this is going to be a 5-mana removal spell that might stick around and do something else.
It's cool with your double Yorion draws. When you set up those loops, you just plus on the first one and then bring it back to your hand when it dies from the legend rule.
True.
Make it up for 1/1s, and you just keep having. So it lets you set up the perpetual loop in a different way.
In a different way. Hey, I'm all about extra ways to make a Yorion loop. So
there you go.
Yeah. Should be sweet. This was a deck that I've always had a soft spot for, just because I love the interaction with Vivian and being able to get this toolbox of cards, the one of Charming Prince, stuff like that, and then just has Doom Foretold, which is one of my favorite cards. So a lot to like from this deck.
Definitely a lot of cool tricks going on with Vivian in this deck.
Yes, and you still get to play Trail of Crumbs, Gilded Goose, some of the powerful stuff there. So should be interesting here.
Okay, well, I'm going to be on the play here for game one.
Okay.
There's an obvious issue with my hand, but it is good enough outside of that I will still keep.
Okay. Well, let's see what I'm cooking with. Okay. Yeah, this is good enough. I have a glaring problem as well, but we'll get lucky.
Okay, planes go.
Okay. I will play a forest and pass to you.
Plains Seasoned Hallowblade.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
It's a good magic card. I think it'd look better in my glass casket, though. Pass to you.
Mountain Seasoned Hallowblade Fireblade Charger.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Okay. Oops. All right, we're going to go with a Skyclave and hit the Seasoned Hallowblade. Pass to you.
Attack for 1.
For 1, huh? What kind of tricks you got? Does this have to attack? Oh, no. Oh, okay.
Just onboard tricks.
Okay, onboard tricks. All right.
They're right in front of you.
I'll take it.
19.
19.
Okay, same play as last turn.
Okay.
You're up.
Quit having Seasoned Hallowblades. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. Okay, so now I got 2 options here. It's definitely going to be get my Black Source. I can either play this or this. Yeah, I actually think this is probably better. I'm going to play Seralf and pass to you.
It's an interesting draw.
Okay. I do have a lot of exile effects, so Seralf is kind of a nombo in this deck. It works well with Wicked Wolf, I guess, but otherwise it's not the best.
Seralf is definitely annoying, though.
Yeah, definitely annoying.
So I think I just have to Skyclave it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Get in for 5.
Well, it's a bit of a tilt. I don't really want to give you a 2/2 here. Yeah, I'll take it. 14.
14, pass the turn.
Okay. A draw. Not a bad card, but I think my play is pretty easy this turn. I'm going to play Kaya. We got a Planeswalker.
Okay.
I'm going to -2 on probably Skyclave, but there is definitely some reason to want to hit Seasoned Hallowblade. Nah, we'll do the Skyclave. I'll get a 3/3. Pass to you.
Okay, I'm going to play a Sword of the Realms.
Okay, I gotta give this a read again. +2/+2 in Vigilance.
+2/+0.
Okay, and then when it dies, return it, huh? Okay, spicy.
Definitely going to equip to a Fireblade Charger. This is going to guarantee the Kaya dies.
Yep.
And then, so the Charger is definitely going to go with the Kaya. The only question is whether I also want to send Seasoned Hallowblade at Corey and potentially just trade the card in my hand for the illusion. I think that's fine, so that's what I'll do. So Hallowblade at you, the equipped Charger at the Kaya.
Okay, so yeah, that means if I block it, you're going to get it back. Plus
and it'll deal 3 damage to any target.
That's pretty good. So I probably don't want to block that.
Where I come from, we call it a combo.
Well, Where you come from is stupid.
Don't like it.
Is that last card worth trading here? I'm kind of thinking it is. All right, yep, I'll block here.
Okay, it's plains.
Okay, it wasn't. And Kai's dead.
Kai down, token down, pass the turn.
All right.
What you see is what you get.
Okay, so let's see what we want to do here. All right. Let's go just kind of a basic turn. Yeah, that's not the best. All right. I think I'm going to go with this. I got a Gilded Goose. Let's get a Crisperone up in here. And let's get Treacherous. I'm going to draw 3.
Interesting.
We're getting real treacherous, and that was pretty good.
Weird that you would play the goose first. I guess you.
Then you don't take damage, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just like.
So
we drew another glass casket.
Yes, we did, but I don't know what to hit. So I'm going to take 1. I'm going to go 13. And I probably still just take Seasoned Hollowblade here. The sword is definitely annoying. But yeah, let's just take the Hollowblade. And I'll pass to you.
Okay, attack for 3 with the Fireblade Charger.
Sure. No blocks.
Brings you to 10.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
Okay. Okay, so I'll play this. 5. I'll play a Kaya. I'll lose 1. I'm going to hit the sword. That's the most threatening card. So I'll go to 9. And then I will sack this food. I'm going to go to 8 and Elspeth's Nightmare one of these.
So I get to deal 1 to something.
Oh, yeah, it does destroy. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
I'll deal 1 to the Kaya.
Okay. Yep. So I'm at 8, and I'll pass to you.
Jesus Christ. Attack Kaya.
Block.
Deal the Kaya.
Okay.
Play a Stable Passage and pass the turn.
All right. Okay, I'd like to duress you. What do you got?
Not to the stable part of this game, and then I've drawn 3 lands in a row.
Yep. That's not great. So let's start with a cycle. Draw a card. Then I have a land. I will buy Yorion and attack for 2. Put you at 18, and I'll pass to you.
Okay, what would I like to draw? I think a Bone Crusher Giant.
Yeah, Boney C would be pretty good. But yeah, you're at the point where, you know, my draws are just going to be much, much better. This is the point you definitely want to be at the aggressive deck. I made it through your initial charge.
Yeah, I wasn't really able to generate a ton of early pressure because your curve was quite strong to start.
I've been killing all your creatures the second you play them all day.
Yep. Basically.
Basically, yeah. Looks like new standard is still for me. You get to play your index and kill everything with glass caskets. I'm in.
Well, if you had caskets in the other matches, it wouldn't have been nearly as good. Then you had Bone Crusher Giant. Now when you needed caskets, you have caskets.
Yeah, that's true. It's a gift.
And a planet. Right.
I'll make a food. I'll untap. I will exile your graveyard. I will attack for 2.
18. Or 16, yeah.
16, yep.
Missed
Okay. Then I got a Yorion. I will blink out these. One casket. Yeah. And then I will play a lance. I lose one off that.
Yeah, you're at 7.
Got no reason to do that.
So I have this and a 2/2 illusion.
A 2/2 illusion, yep. And then these come in. I'll glass casket the illusion, skyclave that, get a food, and draw 3 cards. Oh, 1, 2, 3, and your go.
Luminarch Aspirant.
Oh yeah, it's on.
Get a counter.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. End step. I'll cycle. Draw.
I'm very good.
Yeah, you are. I had the goods. Well, Kyle was, not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, being able to deal with the equipment and other stuff is.
Yeah. It was pretty interesting. The +1 ability, as I kind of predicted, is just not going to be relevant in this deck, at least. Who knows? Maybe some other deck, it might be better. Like, maybe it's the card that finally makes Luminous Broodmoth playable. Probably not, but you never know. Something like that we always tried to make work, but especially with them killing Cat Oven, it seems pretty rough. So, all right, everyone, that's going to do it for our first game here of our final match. We're going to take a short break for sideboarding. We'll be right back on Versus Live.
Welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Boros Aggro and Abzan Yorion. On my side, just gearing up for a bit of a longer game, bringing in my last Apparition, which can handle various artifacts and enchantments from Corey's side, bringing in the 2 copies of Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients. Against a heavier removal deck, I'm trimming 1 Embercleave. The Nahiris can sort of dig for an Embercleave when I need one as well. Mm-hmm. So I feel comfortable only having 2. And then trimming a couple of the Fireblade Chargers, just one of the weaker cards in the deck. So, gearing up for a longer game, I don't need to come out as quickly. So we can cut down on those.
And from my end, I have a lot of anti-creature stuff in the sideboard here, and I have a lot of stuff that's pretty awkward on the draw. Treacherous Blessing being the card I immediately got to get out. Okay, and Eerie Ultimatum. That was more of a fun of. I really wanted to have an ultimate kind of day. I added some ultimatums to a lot of the decks. Taking out one of the 2 Elspeth Conquers Death, you have targets, but I'm adding 5 drops where I think Gargaroth is better. A reason to take out Vivian as well, not super strong. Trimming on Trail, I'd still like to draw them, but I don't want to draw 2 of them. Taking out Elspeth's Nightmare, you have a lot of 3/1s, so it's kind of awkward, but this is a card that I'm very unsure about. I think this maybe should stay in the deck over the other 2 Doom Foretold, because Doom Foretold is not very good in this matchup. You just have so many things to sacrifice, so I don't think it's going to be that great, and I'm actually going to exchange for the other 2 Doom Foretold and call it good. I think Elspeth's Nightmare can be decent. You got enough spells that makes it worth it. So we're going to no longer be a Doom Foretold deck.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to try it. I'm not positive on it, but you just have too many little creatures. On the play, I would probably bring all 4 back in, because it's just a card that's much better on the play. But on the draw, I don't think it's worth it.
Makes me want to have fewer Apparitions.
Yeah, I am just trying to turn into a control deck. Get out of your Apparition range with Gargaroth as my win con, but I still got Geese and stuff like that. So
your Apparitions and
yes,
glass caskets.
Yes, I got the goods. All right, well, we shuffle up for our last couple games. Rob, do you got a question for us?
Fortunately, not right now.
All right. Did you say fortunately not right now?
So, unfortunately.
Rob is not in the mood to take
Rob just wants
questions.
to go home.
Yeah.
He's ready for the year to end.
Yes. He's over 2020, like we all are. But you know what?
There's only a couple more days, Rob.
Yes. 2020 can end on a somewhat decent note if I pull off the sweep and get to win with 2 Yorion decks, Doesn't make up for it, but
what I'm getting from this is you're putting on me the fact that you don't want to be here.
No. I love being here. I love new Magic cards, and I love Yorion. So, I think you're unhappy with the fact that I chose 2 Yorion decks.
Well, I mean, that's just a constant.
Yeah. All right, how's your hand?
Not great.
Mine is definitely a Corey keep if I keep it.
In particular, this card in it is pretty bad, but I am still going to keep.
I'm going to keep as well.
I'm going to lead on a Giant Killer.
Giant Killer? Let's go. Okay. I got a Pathway and a Honky Honk Goose, and I'll pass to you.
Awesome. If Corey wins this one, I'm going to be
my hand is busted. What are you talking about? My hand is absolutely busted.
Pass the turn. On your upkeep, tap the goose.
Do a little taparoo. Okay. Draw. Okay, your go. We swang for the fences and we missed. But if we got any land here, this is going to be a great one.
Also, not gonna lie, when I first saw the hand, I thought that was a different pathway.
Okay, you thought I didn't have green for it? That would have been a little too much.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
Yeah. See, I didn't want to ruin your 2020 with a sweep, so I'm trying to give you this game to even it up. You see what I did there?
It's a late
do I
Christmas
want to
present.
just start beating down
that's
now,
friendship.
or do I want to keep tapping the goose down? I think I'd rather be more mana efficient on my end.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's play Maul and get in for 3.
Okay, 17.
You can go.
All right, we need a land. It's not a land. All right, I got a trail. I'll replace the food, and I'll pass to you.
Okay.
A one-lander with goose and trail. Come on, how can you resist?
Now I get to start doing things. I'll play a Kiri and attack and draw a card.
Okay, I don't even know what this card does.
I've played against you before.
Yeah. Okay.
It's going to bring you to 14. I did not hit a 4th land, though, so I will pass.
We're live. Okay. 14.
14. Just 2 attacks with the 3/4 giant killer.
So I will start by adding green, triggering trail.
Yep.
I will take this land and I will play a trail and get another food. Pass to you. I think this is going to be too slow, y'all. I think this is going to be just a tad too slow. Rob, why'd you make me keep this one-lander? It was such a bad idea.
You know,
Rob
you
has
want to give Ross a chance.
Yeah, all right. We're helping everybody. I'm with you.
I'm going to play Halvar.
Okay.
Getting in combat, I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to attack you for 11 and draw a card.
That just moves for free?
As long as it's attached to something. It can't move unattached equipment onto things, but it can move equipment around.
That's what
At the beginning of combat.
Okay, all right.
Or an equipment that's attached to something.
Sure,
And it gives them double strike. So this is a 5/5 double striker, and that's an extra 1.
I'm down to
It's 11
3.
total, and I draw a card from the Akiri.
Don't you draw it twice because of double strikes?
No, but it's when I attack with 1 or more.
Oh,
creatures.
okay. Sure.
You literally read the card last turn.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're at 3.
All right.
Pass the turn.
All right, well, my hand of 4/5/5 drops is probably not
My
good.
hand of a 3/3 haster is also going to be good.
All right. We're giving you a chance here.
I drew some lands. That was good.
Would it really be right to end 2020 without one bad keep that leads to a game loss where I don't play Magic on a show where we're supposed to play Magic? I mean, I don't think it would, so that sounds about right.
Yeah, we're basically just doing our clip show from the year.
Yes, yeah. Rob, do you have any questions, or is anybody wondering about all that expert play that I just had? I'm guessing everyone's trying to line up for a coaching service.
Corey's mono Yorian decks. I'm mono creature decks. Corey's like Corey keeps.
Usually beating you with them, but yeah.
I'm over here questioning all of my life decisions. It really is just a perfect sum up of
2020,
our 2020.
the more you know.
Trying to narrowly avoid the sweep.
Yes, yeah. And then usually do at the end, and
walk away with my moral victory.
Yeah.
Blit TM with a great comment. The giant killer becoming Rashidin port and standard is pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. All right, so I'm going to be on the play for our final game of 2020. Our final game of 2020. We made it.
Giant killer time walked you and then attacked for 7 damage.
Yeah, it was insane.
Hard to get better for a 1-mana card.
Hey, I'm in. If I had a land, it might have helped, but you know what? I don't have that kind of foresight. All right, well, this hand is also not good, but we have land, so I think I have to keep. Yeah, we're going to keep it. Another iffy one.
My hand is 5 lands and 2 mauls, so
Okay.
send that one back.
Oh, you mulligan 5-landers? What? You mulligan 5-landers? Wow, you're just so picky.
Way to go, Martin.
Yeah. All right. So I have to choose which one of my 5 lands I would like to play first. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna guess Corey kept 5 lands, Glass Casket, Elder Gargaroth.
Wow, that'd be way better than the hand that I have. It's not a 5-lander. It's a 6-lander.
Okay, so one of the lands is Trio, maybe 2 of them.
Who knows? Also, I might be lying to you. You don't know.
I generally assume you're lying to me at all points in time.
I am. Even when we're just off air, just for fun. I'll text you a lie.
Okay, interesting hand here. I think I actually want to put one of these back. They're not great in multiples, and it just gives me more options.
I got a temple. I'll keep that on top. Pass to you.
I have a Plains.
Okay. I have a Triumph. Pass to you.
So when you said in the group chat last night that you were rooting for the Jazz, that was actually a lie? That's what you
It
told me?
was a lie, yeah. I'm always rooting against them.
Needleverge, Howlblade.
Okay. All right, I'll play this Glass Casket I just drew. And I'll play a Triumph and pass to you.
Okay, Apparition the Casket.
Okay. It's uncool.
Pass the turn.
Uncool of you, I must say. I have a casket. I'll take this and get a 2/2. Actually, do I want to do that or hit the Hollow Blade? Yeah, actually, I do think I want to hit the Hollow Blade here. Slightly less risky if you do kill it again. Yeah, sure. I don't know if that logic is sound. Then I'll play this and pass to you.
Interesting draw. You have 4 cards in hand.
4 cards.
I'm
All
wondering if Corey is sitting on some sort of 2-mana removal spell. Don't think you have too many of them.
I got enough of them.
Okay, I'm going to play a Sword of the Realms.
Okay. That resolves.
Needleverge Pathway.
Okay.
I can play the other card in my hand, or I can go to equip the sword. Pretty big tempo loss. Sort of a pretty big tempo loss either way. Yeah, I'm going to go for the equip.
Okay.
Attack for 4.
I'll take it. 16.
Pass the turn.
All right. Okay, have a pretty nice play. I will go with Kaya and exile that. Get a 2/2. And pass to you.
Needleverge Pathway. Monarch Aspirant Apparition hit the casket.
Okay.
Now, where do I want to put the counter? I'm not sure if you have Heartless Act, but if you do, I don't want you to Heartless Act the Apparition.
Okay.
So I'll plus there and then pass the turn.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, non-token creature, so it doesn't get you any value with the illusion.
Yep.
You won't even get the spirit token.
Cool. But I do get to go Elder Gargaroth, and I'll tick up and put a ghost counter on this. We'll go with this. And pass to you. Elder Gargaghost, we'll call it. How about that?
We'll see what chat gives that one.
I would expect nothing less than my usual D-.
Interesting.
It's kind of cute, though. I mean, even if you Giant Killer Gargaroth or whatever, the fact to just get it back here is kind of nice.
I drew a really interesting card.
Okay. I don't like that.
It's Kiri.
Okay. Let me read that one. No, I'm just kidding. There's a lot of text on this one. Okay. Pretty cute.
So it's a question of where I want to move the sword now, and if I want to play this.
Do these ghost form counters stack, you think? So I can get 2 if I double up? I truly don't know. Kind of seems like no, but
I believe they will be cumulative because it's giving the creature a trigger, and it can have multiple instances of the same trigger.
Okay. I'm just wondering if it's like, return it,
So,
one trigger goes, and then since you're not returning it the other time.
It doesn't say if you do. That's the other part. It says return to its owner's hand and to do this.
Cool.
So I believe it will resolve. The other one will any subsequent triggers will resolve to the best of their ability.
Cool.
And you will get extra 1/1s.
Cool.
So the thing with this turn is that if the only way I can get to a creature that can attack into the Gargaroth is to put a counter on either Hallowblade or Apparition with the Aspirant and equip to that same creature.
Yep.
So it's just a question of which creature I want to equip to, and if I want to play this. The awkward part about the Hallowblade is that a counter doesn't get it out of range of the illusion. It's still just a 6/2. So Corey has a pretty easy block there, and I either have to play my land in hand and use the Akiri to give it indestructible, which still taps it. So either way, I would tap the creature, and I don't have a good block back for the Gargaroth. Mm-hmm. If I send the Apparition, then you could block the Gargaroth. Like, I would get Apparition back, you would get another 2/2 and the Gargaroth back and a 1/1. But I'm continually drawing cards off of this.
Yep.
Unless you want to deal with it with the Kaya. I do need to draw cards.
That's so spicy.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to move to the Apparition.
Okay.
I'm going to put the counter on it.
Okay.
And and attack Kaya for 6, draw a card.
Okay. I think I want to buy block with Gargaroth here. The value of just getting it back right now is pretty bananas. And I think I actually just want to draw a card, although a 3/3 is quite tempting right now. But I wouldn't mind a land for my next turn. So yeah, I'm going to block and draw a card.
Okay.
Dies, trades, this comes back. I get a 1/1 flyer, which of course we do not have.
We need spirit tokens.
Oh, are they actually printed? I would assume they just came with
that. We can find some other spirit token.
Oh, I think we actually have black-white spirits, right? Okay.
Yeah, from Beck and Apparition.
Okay.
Okay, and now, based on my draw, I'm going to play this Emeria. I'm going to need the mana for next turn.
Okay.
Don't need it right now, and then pass.
All right, so this is a 1/1 flyer. Not the best draw, but definitely not the worst. God, this actually, I'm starting to kind of change my mind on Kaya here. I think it's going to do some bananas things. Okay, so they're white and black, but that's the only different here.
So knowing that Kaya costs 5, so I can't just Apparition it.
Yeah. Oh, I was like, I swear I had 6 land. I was just doing the math with 6. So I need this over here. Let's go with a Skyclave.
Yep.
I think that's probably Season Hollowblade. Yeah, let's go with Season Hollowblade. I will tick up, put a ghost form counter on Skyclave. And pass to you.
Put the sword on Akiri.
Okay. Actually, in response, let's Heartless Act that. So I don't want you to be able to indestructible.
I will then Apparition your Apparition.
Okay, I'll bring it back. Get a 1/1.
Oh, yeah, it's exile too.
Yeah.
Why does Kaya get...
Kaya might be nice.
It really annoys me when certain cards just get to do everything.
Yeah.
Like-
So it's still converted mana cost of 3, though. So if I were to kill this, I still get 2, because it was exiled by this, but then it goes to exile and comes back, and you get your 2/2. Yeah. That is nice. Okay.
Oh, hold on. Maybe I don't even...
Sure.
Maybe I just don't even want to do that.
Yeah, because that's some...
All of my stuff like is only when it dies.
Yeah.
But somehow your stuff is like, no, you don't. You never get around it.
Yeah, I'm kind of changing my mind on Kaya. I thought that card was really bad. It might actually be a decent role player. It just screams out a good card with Skyclave Apparition to me.
Yeah, but you just had the removal spell, so that was also really good.
Kaya just doing it all. Can exile something next turn. So Kaya would have... So if we think about this in the grand scheme of things, Kaya exiled something, saved Elder Gargaroth, makes Skyclave able to be saved, and could make 2 1/1s, and now next turn could kill a second card. That's a good rate for 5 mana.
Yeah.
If left unchecked. You could have killed it immediately like last game, and it was just an expensive removal spell, but for now it seems kind of spice.
I know you have a Gargaroth in hand.
Mm-hmm. So the one disadvantage here, though, if I were to Yorion this, I have to bring it back, so I don't get that ability. So that is a bit of a nombo with Yorion, but...
Yeah, I will Apparition your Apparition.
Okay. I will return it, get a 1/1, you get a 2/2.
Yep. And then I will move Sword to the Aspirant,
Okay.
put a counter on the Aspirant, and attack Kaya.
So it's a...
So 4/2 Vigilance. When it dies, it comes back to my hand.
4/2, huh? Okay. I will block and have you put it back to your hand.
Yep.
Everything's just going back.
And then I will pass the turn.
Okay. That was pretty good. So let's go with...
Need some ECDs on my sideboard.
Yeah, ECD would be pretty strong. Now it's just a question, do I want to just play Gargaroth or kind of just try to control your battlefield a little bit more? I think both are fine. All right, how about this? Let's exile this. I'll get a 3/3. I'll attack for 2.
18.
And I'm just going to play a Yorion, blinking out Kaya, and pass to you. Get that exile effect ready for next turn.
Yeah.
This deck's kind of spice, though. Wonder if this deck even has to be a Doomfortold deck anymore. Could just be an Abzan midrange deck. Abzan Yorion midrange naturally, but...
Okay, I'm going to play Lumark Aspirant and Halvar and equip the Sword to the Illusion.
Okay, so now it has double strike.
We'll put a counter on it in combat with the Aspirant. So I have a 5/3 Vigilance, a double strike,
Okay.
and attack Kaya. So I'll force a chump block
Yeah, I will jump.
and pass the turn.
Okay. All right. Now I have the world. Let's exile this. Let's...
Should be on 2, right?
Yep, sorry. Let's Elspeth's Nightmare that. And I'll attack for 5.
13.
And I'll pass to you.
Attack Kaya.
A block. 4 damage. Mythos, the illusion. You can put it back into your hand.
Shadow Skull for 6, kill Kaya and Yorian.
Okay. That's pretty good. They dead.
Pass the turn.
All right, duress you.
Look, Ma, no hands.
Look, Ma, no cards. I got a Gargaroth, and then I'll attack for 2.
11.
Your go. I think I'm sitting pretty good.
Yeah, the fact that Kaya says if it would be exiled either way, so you just get the world is...
so without Kaya there, I just didn't have this. And then I'm nickel and diming you, but you have a chance to get back in the game.
Yeah, especially with the sword, like just this, you have I guess, you have removal spells for these 2 things.
Yeah.
And then it's just you're a couple 1/1s and our top deck.
Yeah, and we got a Yorian, but
too,
yeah, honestly, really impressed me. What was the card that impressed you the most? I think Kaya is probably number 1 for me so far.
Kaya looked really good in that game. The score looked pretty good in the games, but not, it looked good in games where questing base I think would have also been good.
Yeah, and the enchantment looked good too, but it wasn't like it won me any games. And I think if I can build around that card a little bit more, with that ramp style Naya deck, I think it's going to look excellent. But it just looked okay.
Yeah, we're starting to see the potential in that card. Kaya is the card that I think overperformed relative to expectations.
Same.
To me, that card seemed relatively weak, but just in combination with a few different things to protect, like as long as you just have one thing to protect.
Yes.
Right,
yes.
So you don't need a ton, and the fact that you often want to go play it on 5-, untap with it, play something big, protect that thing.
Yeah,
that's a really nice sequence if you can get that to fire off.
I'm interested in exploring more based around Kaya deck. Like this was just an Abzan Doom deck where I wanted to try Kaya. I wonder what we can look into. To just have a dedicated Kaya list, and I think there's definitely something there. And there's some high potential with that card because 5 mana protects itself. It passes the test where it has to do that to be good. For 5 mana, it's got to be able to kill something.
Yeah, though, like I wouldn't really count that as protecting itself. It's going to end at 2 loyalty. After dealing with one thing, there's a lot of situations where if you do that, the Kai is going to get attacked down, and we saw that in game 2.
Teferi went down to 2. Hero of Dominaria.
Sure, and you often the best bet for protecting it was to plus untap and interact it for 2 mana.
True.
Right? So that Teferi protected itself with the untap of the 2 lands, allowing you to cast a piece of interaction for it. This doesn't have that as much, though you do often protect the Kaya when you plus on a blocker, and now they can't remove the blocker because you're going to get the 1/1 anyway.
Yeah.
That actually does help protect it. And it came up. I had
6.
ways where I wanted to maneuver around it, and I just couldn't get through.
And 6 loyalty is just so huge.
Honestly, if Kaya becomes a pretty big part of the metagame, I think you start seeing more bounce spells because that's the one way that you tempo them out and actually remove the blocker.
Yeah.
Or like a passivism style effect. But that kind of effect is really bad against Kaya -3.
Yeah, pretty interesting stuff. A lot to unpack here, everyone, as far as the limited amount of cards we have. And by the next time we get to do a show, fingers crossed, we're going to have a lot more to work with. Yeah. But pretty exciting stuff so far. I'm really excited for the set.
Yeah. The equipment deck still with some kinks to work out. I think the big issue is that all of its protection elements don't work against exile-based removal. Yeah. Whenever you exile my stuff, it was like, okay, I'm paying, a lot of cost to get these supposedly resilient threats into my deck. They're just not resilient to a specific kind of removal, and your deck had a good amount of it. So if there's a lot of caskets and Kais in the metagame, these kinds of resilient threats aren't going to be particularly good.
I'm wondering
if people are playing black, although black has Extinction Event too. But
yeah, Extinction Event is rough. I'm wondering if you should just be maxing out on Showdown to have, because the one problem it seemed like you had again is what these red-white aggro decks have is when you run out of your gas, you're dead. And if you have something to refuel, plus it pumps your creatures, can put some counters on it. It might be worth having 4 of those. I
was playing Nahiri in that role to be the refuel because it synergizes with a lot of what you're doing.
Yeah.
But Showdown could easily just be the more powerful card and worthwhile.
Yeah. Because Nahiri's been around and we have not seen it, do anything, even though it has Umbercleave, it has Winota. I'm just not a big fan of that card.
Nahiri needs a very specific home to be good at. And this is the kind of home where it would be good. And it's still a debate.
And it still could be the new flashy Boros enchantment might just be better.
Yeah.
So who knows? Anyways, we got a lot to unpack. We could be talking for an extra 20 minutes on some of these cool interactions, but that's what future versus lives will be. As long as we keep getting new cards, we're going to be cranking out some new Kaldheim versus live shows. So it should be really fun. But for now, we're over our time. So Rob, let's thank some subs. We'll thank some sponsors, and we're out of here.
All right. Sparrow subscribed for 26 months. Papa John's Napkins for 33 months. And Cassie Girl, the Golden Fang, subscribed. So thank you to all of our subs.
So thank you for all of that support. If you would like to support Star City Games in another way, you can join SCG Premium. $7.99 a month will get you access to exclusive content from our excellent staff of content creators, along with some other perks, 5% off of sealed product, 10% off of singles, and 15% off of supplies. So head on over to starcitygames.com/join-premium and sign up today.
Absolutely. And if you want to be as comfy as we are every Tuesday and Thursday here on Versus Live, you can pick up one of these awesome Carnox gaming chairs by heading over to carnox.com/SCG. Use that affiliate link to get yourself 10% off one of these beautiful chairs.
And speaking of comfy, if you like the shirts that we wear, they all come from Coalesce Apparel, and you can find their entire collection at coalesceapparel.shop. And be sure to use the gift code SCG when checking out to get 10% off of your purchase there as well.
I mean, the Yorian shirt's like my favorite, but honestly, this one's a close one. This is what made me fall in love with Coalesce Apparel right away. The Wu-Tang crossover, I just think is so funny. So, yeah, really comfy shirts. And also, okay, so cleaning shop a little bit, we have the Kaldheim Championship qualifiers continuing this week. We were off last week for the holiday season, but we got it going again this weekend, and next weekend is actually our last one. It went by fast, you know.
The Kaldheim Championship is at the end of January, I think.
Yeah.
So it's not that far away, so 2 more weekends for you to be able to qualify for that. Yeah. And we are going to have satellites for this weekend's qualifier on New Year's Day, on Friday. So not taking a break for this holiday. We are on for this weekend.
Absolutely. So 4 running on Friday, 4 running on Saturday, and the tournament is standard, so dust off your old mono green foodless or your gruel deck and start battling people here. Gonna be really fun.
Yes, and if you've got some holiday cash lying around, be sure to check out this week's holiday sale. This week's is going to be 25% off of foil singles. So if you like the shiny cards, this week's is for you. That sale is going to continue going on until Monday, until 10:59 a.m. Eastern time?
Correct.
Yeah.
Sounds right. I like shiny stuff. I might have to check that out. All right, everyone. Well, I want to thank you all from the bottom of our heart for another year of Versus Live. You know, we wouldn't be anything without y'all. So thank you so much for watching for another year. We're going to be back in 2021, and we're going to be kicking off with some Kaldheim magic. But for now, this is it. For one last final time in 2020, for Corey, Ross, and Rob, goodbye. We'll miss you. See you in 2021.